Oh, baby, it's time to take your last curtain call. You deserve the applause. So, baby, it's time to take your last curtain call. You deserve the applause. So go backstage where the light is brighter, where the love's so very strong. You'll be asked to do your dance and shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Oh, shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Oh, baby, it's time to take your last curtain call. You deserve the applause. Oh, baby, it's time to take your last curtain call. You deserve the applause. So go backstage where the light is brighter, the love so very strong. You'll be asked to do your dance and shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Oh, shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Thank you. Thank you, Soul Rebel and Soul Rebels. Boy, you know, you're going to have it all figured out one of these days. You know, it's all going to work out one of these days. When you're no longer in this body, it's all going to work out. You know, when it's time to leave the shores of this earth, you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have the worries you have now. You're not going to have the delusions you have now. So listen, you know, sometimes this idea of, you know, dying to our little self is a really good one, especially when you realize that we are behind enemy lines and that enemy is all over us right now, so much so that you don't even know that there's something amiss, except for the happiness and the joy and the love. But even then, you might just assume that that's the way it is, and really that happiness is just, I don't know. We get so clouded and so confused that we don't even know which side is up, baby. So welcome this morning, oh rebels, and thank you. Let's just make sure we open our hearts to all the amazing grace we can receive this morning, because we're still looking at the 6 faults of the ego, all right? Because it's nice to take a peek at just what is keeping us held down, all right? So you might have a little more awareness in what then can keep you not down, but up. Uppy, uppy. Oh, Divine Mother, please pull us uppy. Please pull us uppy. Oh, great masters, please help us to have peace of mind. Oh, Christ, oh, Krishna, show us the light. Help us to keep our eyes on the light. Help us to see the bright side. Help us to know that you are always with us. The light is us. We are the light. Oh, Divine Mother, uppy, uppy, uppy. We need to stay in your arms right now. We need to feel your love, oh Mother. And oh, infinite spirit bliss fire. And oh, soul rebel, we so powerful in our remembrance that spirit and us are one. Love in us are one. Peace in us are one. Shakti, cosmic energy in us are one. Thank you for the constant remembrance, because forgetfulness, if you took all the dark side qualities, if you took all the enemy and you rolled it into one statement, it is to keep us forgetting our true nature of oneness with thee, O infinite spirit bliss. We are so grateful that we are on this Gita stream this morning. We are so grateful to be turning our hearts and minds to thee, O beloved light of our souls. And so it is. We love you. We love you. We love you. Amen. We're in. Thank you. Well, you know, pride comes before the fall. If ever you have a little slip and a little slide, because the nearer the destination, the more you slip slide away, know that it's this good old thing called pride, which is now the fifth fault of the ego that we're going to look at. There's 6 of them, but it does round up a pretty wild motley crew of bad guys, you know. We have the 5 kleshas, which is the, you know, you have the ignorance, the kripa, avidya, you have the ego, ashmita, which thinks that this mind stuff and your emotion stuff and desire stuff is the real stuff. It's the only thing going on in town, right? So a complete ignorance there. You have the likes and dislikes, and you have body attachment. So those are our 5 troubles. Then you have, on top of that, you have making karma, all right? You have the Buddha Shravas, the material action karma. You have drona, which is the habit and the tendencies, samskaras, and then you have latent desire, ashaya. All right, yeah, those 3 bad boys, the motley crew of the enemy that is surrounding us in this material world. Then you have the Karava army, which is the 10 senses and their 10 propensities, makes 100. You have the illuminable sense temptations. You have the well-skilled Karava allies with powers to obstruct and destroy everything that's worthwhile for you in life. Hello, Robbie. What the heck you doing, buddy? Oh, my man. Rob. And then you have the 6 faults of the ego. Just got to line them up, and this is just a small little fraction of how delusion works. It's destruction on us. So you have the kama, lust, at your first chakra. You have anger at your second. You have lobha, greed, and the likes and dislikes at your third. You have what we're going to look at. You have moha, which is this individual delusion in your heart, at your fourth. And you have mada, which we're going to look at right now, which is pride, at your 5th chakra. But don't worry. Listen, you have the soul rebel at your 1st chakra to resist like crazy, this power of self-restraint. You know, the leaks, you know, this first attunement of ours is to be so aware of our oneness with spirit, with that sacred fire of remembrance, and so aware of that which is having this, you know, the Durodhana that lives there, the king material desire that pulling us out. We've got to plug up our energy leaks at our 1st chakra, kids. There's no, like, that's not negotiable. I don't care what it is that is just pulling you down and having you addicted to some material outward sensation or addiction or habit or whatever, or mood, mental or emotional. It's got to be plugged up now, all right? It's just absolutely non-negotiable, and that's your soul rebel, because it's in constant remembrance that it's a soul on a mission, and its mission is to lift and upgrade today. And there's a sense of urgency, you know, of today. It's like today is the only day, and we're a soul on a mission, and we're gonna elevate our consciousness as high as we can, and in doing that, we're gonna be able to plug up these leaks, at least for a day, at least for one day. Go on the wagon, baby, right? And then at the 2nd chakra, you have this helpless little soul baby that just clings to the Divine Mother and never leaves her hug, because right there you have all the frustrations and the anger of these desires that aren't fulfilled if you're not careful. That's Krota. That's the anger. That's the second brother. That's the second brother of the 100 brothers, or the sons of the blind mind. So that's the King Lust's brother. It's called anger, Krota, at your 2nd. So we have to just curl up and hold on to Divine Mother for dear life. You did that for 9 months. Good job, everyone, just a few years ago in your mother's womb. There's no reason you can't go back into the cosmic womb right now, right? And just attach yourself to the cosmic mother. All right, and then at the 3rd chakra, you have the King's Champion. You have yourself, one who devotes herself to devotion. You have the Arjuna of you, which is the King's Champion, which means that, you know, you're going to rise above the likes and the dislikes there, and all the little cravings that you still have, and what you don't like and what you want, and you're going to rise above the greed. And so you have just one motive, and that is to love. Because you're the soul's champion, and that's all the soul is about in terms of the most powerful force there is love. So you just love, and you love, and you love. You're devoted to love, all right? Then at your heart center, because this this moha, this individual delusion that's there, you need to have love's first kiss over and over again, because you have Sleeping Beauty living in here, baby. Sleeping Beauty, your heart, your divine heart is sleeping in this delusion in the heart center, all right? So we need love's first true kiss. It's the fairy tale. You need love's first kiss, or the first love, over and over again with every inhale and exhale breath in the heart center. All right, now we're going to look at why this, it's so important that we have this master Mushin and this master peace and this peaceful warrior and this interiorization of our minds, this quiet mind, no thoughts, no motion, no emotion, no personal desires. Good is dead. Why we are imperturbable mind, why we are samurai mind, why we are quiet mind. We're like now the soul queen and soul king's counselor and confidant. We want to give ourselves the clarity and the wisdom and that comes from just this inner peace, because you're going to now know what is here fighting in this chakra against you. This is our fifth fault of the ego at your fifth chakra, our fifth attunement of the heart, which is to interiorize the mind, because pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. You want to hear about pride now? You want to realize how important it is that this mind isn't involved in your life, that this thinking mind, this rational mind, this mind that is so attached to you being like me, mine, and I, right? Where, it's all about me. You want to read about that? Can't be all about you if your mind is quiet and you don't have thoughts about you. Here we go. This fault of the ego makes the mind narrow and limited. Do you guys still like to hang around with the mind that is narrow and limited? Are you limiting yourself in your own thoughts? This is maha. This is pride. Pride chokes a choke job and suppresses the illimitable soul qualities by its constricted consciousness. So it's just so narrow. It is so limited because it's just about the ego and all its insatiable desires and wants and needs and opinions and judgments and biases and we need to win. It's like in sports where you have people. Some of those guys can lose graciously, others cannot. And they hold grudges, and they're so much filled with pride that if they don't win, if they don't beat that enemy, their sense of self-worth is kind of just really shattered, And so, we need to be, gracious in our victories in this duality, and gracious when it doesn't seem to go our way. We need to be gracious, because that means there's some humility that we're in a duality, and we're going to have moments of victory and moments where we collapse as an ego, right? The ego is going to win. It's a seeming battle, but it never win the war. But we have to understand, we have to be gracious. We have to be good sportsmen and good sportswomen in this game, this battle of life. So I'm just putting it out there that nobody wants to live in a narrow, constricted, biased mind, do we? Pride here means that love for the I or ego self that is constantly, I think we'll all identify with this, on the defensive or offensive. This little I of yours is either defending something or it's attacking something, all right? It's defending why I just failed or lost a battle in life, and it will attack anyone who says something that it doesn't help support your pride, right? You'll attack it. You'll try to chop off the head of others to make yourself appear a little taller and a little better and more superior, because that's part of pride, It's haughtiness. That word means the appearance or quality of being arrogantly superior and disdainful. All right? You know what it's like when your little peacock feathers are all up and you're strutting around in that prideful quality of not of your soul, but of the ego. You guys know exactly what that feels like. So it's constantly on the defensive or offensive to support and promote the interest of the little ego self. Because of Mada, M-A-D-A, that means pride in Sanskrit, within the ego there arises, here's some good guys that aren't good at all: arrogance, conceit, haughtiness, presumptuous behavior, and passionate or wanton lust after the desires, interests, or demands of the I, me, and mine. That lives at your first chakra. Do you realize how important it is to hokahe? It's a great day to die to my mind and die to the ego and die to everything that is pulling me out, to have this arrogance, conceit, haughtiness, presumptuous behavior, and passionate or wanton lust after desires, interests, or demands of the I, me, and mine, to defend myself, to attack others who don't agree with me, to make other people wrong because my little thing is right and the people I hang around with are right and they are wrong. You know, my religion is better than your religion. You know, how can you have this belief when that is completely wrong? And then you share some limited idea of a belief that you have, right? Is this sounding familiar? Does this make sense that pride comes before the fall? My good name, my rights, my status, my race, my religion, my feelings, I am justified. I am as good or better than anyone else. I want, I have, I am. Among the meanings encompassed by the word mada or pride, in addition to pride, are intoxication and insanity. It could aptly be said that mada or pride is such an intoxication with the ego, I consciousness, that man takes leave of his sane or true self, the soul. So let's face it, all right? Because this is, let's face it. Hello, Carolyn. Let's do our week. I'm sure you can drum up a few pennies here and there. Go to your bank. Break the little penny bank, Carolyn. Come on. We need to have a week. We need a big reboot. We need the next elevation of consciousness, and then we need to maintain it, all right? So that's why we have our weeks from time to time. Anyway, listen, you know, it's such an intoxication of ego is this pride that it takes, that the consciousness of us takes leave of our true self, the soul. Now, you know from as well as me that to stay in this remembrance that we are soul, and to stay in the self-control to maintain that consciousness, to plug up our energy leaks is quite a feat. So quite frankly, we are all intoxicated with pride, and we all are insane with pride, because it is such an intoxication with the I, me, and mine, that we forget our soul nature. That's why soul rebel, go, baby. It's not allowed at your first attunement to have any notion that is going to have you forget your divine nature. Almighty power, spirit, I am. Spirit and I are one. And we keep that sacred fire blazing in the bliss flames of that remembrance that spirit and us are one, in bliss, ongoing bliss. Everything else that would lead you to forgetfulness of that is pride. Yeah, because it's all about I, me, mine. All I, me, and mine. In the Mahabharata allegory, Maha as pride is represented by Shaila. He is the maternal uncle of the two younger Pandavas, and they're our good guys. Sahadeva at your first chakra and Nakula at your second chakra. These are the Pandus, the younger ones. This is a maternal uncle called Shaila. Now, Shaila set out to join forces with the Pandavas, with the good guys, with Krishna, against the Kurus, but Duryodhana bribed him. Are you guys still receptive to bribes? Someone came along and, you know, showed you a stack of $100 bills or whatever little other temptation that was easily given to you as a little gift. Would you kind of Maybe think twice about it. Huh? So that's what Duryodhana did to Shaila, who was the maternal uncle of the two younger Pandava brothers at your first two chakras, Sahadeva and Nakula, in the allegory of the Mahabharata. So Duryodhana bribed him with flattery and gifts, so that he sided with the Kurus instead. He went for it. He bought into it. Flattery and gifts. Flattery and gifts. Oh, darling, you're so beautiful. I love you. Come steal away with me. Or let's go out. Your husband won't know. Your wife won't know. Come on. Come on. I love you so much. I've never been with anyone who I love so much. Flattery, temptation, the gifts. Oh, we can have sex together, right? So this guy, Shaila, sided with the Kurus, couldn't resist the temptations of the flattery and gifts. Thus does egoistic pride often turn man and woman's head and feet in the wrong direction. The word Shaila means fault or defect, implying in this context the nearsightedness of ego's pride, the narrow perspective, meaning that we have no perspective at all, no separation at all from our ego nature. You know, we're trying putting a crowbar and inside this ego consciousness and manas mind we have from some kind of place of soul strength or courage, amazing grace, whatever, and we're just starting to pry to get separated out a little bit from this I, me, and mine pride. All right? Yogananda said, separate your dream imperfections from your perfect self. Get that crowbar in there of your indomitable will, baby. The soul rebel just prying apart its attachment to this material world. Just opening it up so we can separate out our dream imperfections. You know, we're bleeding, man. We're going to bleed out if we don't plug up our energy leaks at our first shock. We're going to bleed out. I mean, people don't realize the intensity of this battle, right? You know, how many people are on our line right now? Huh? People just don't realize the urgency of today, how victory and victory and victory of today is so important for the battles, but also for winning the war. We don't realize that these leaks are absolutely destroying us, that we are bleeding out. And so we, as a soul rebel, we start to separate out all that is helping us to forget the truth and to live it and to rise and elevate our consciousness daily by the breath, by the moment. We separate that part of us, our perfect perfection, from our dream imperfections. All right? That's the soul rebel in its finest hour, which is every hour. So the egoistic pride often turns our head and feet in the wrong direction. The word Shaila means fault or defect, implying in this context the nearsightedness of the ego's pride, the narrow perspective rather than this gigantic soul perspective that we are souls on a mission, right? Of which confuses man's reason and judgment. Not the soul perspective, but this narrow-mindedness, all right? Shaila also means abuse, defamation. Now remember, you know, we're at our fifth chakra, and this is the enemy there. You know, we have individual delusion at our fourth chakra. We have the greed, likes and dislikes at our third chakra. We have anger and fear of death and body attachment at our second chakra. You're going to see this lineup, and I'll probably do a handout, and we'll put the whole thing down. Here are the good guys in each chakra, and here are the bad guys. So there you have it. There's your little game sheet, right? Here's all the tactics of the enemy, and here are all the plays, the divine, creative, strategic plays of the soul to kind of make a touchdown all the way for total devotion in one play. A bomb to the Christ and the Krishna consciousness going long within you. TD, total devotion. So, Shaila means abuse, defamation. It creates in the ego man a hostile power that expresses its self-centered haughtiness. Haughtiness, again, is the appearance of or quality of being arrogantly superior and disdainful. Arrogantly superior to others and disdainful of those who disagree with him or her. I'd love to have a game sheet. I know, Brookie, you'll have a game sheet, baby. You call in your home plays now, Brooke. Your ego's not calling them, you, the quarterback. Captain Brooke, the leader of herself, Queen Soul, and you too, Carolyn, and you too, Rock. Right? But anyway, it creates this mata, creates pride in the ego person, a hostile power. It's hostile power, man, that expresses its self-centered haughtiness toward others as intolerance, prejudice, bigotry, unforgiving attitude, and the prejudiced or fearful hostility of hatred. Now you wonder why you don't have inner peace. This is the enemy in our inner peace, in our ability to interiorize, to flatline the mind. How can you flatline a mind that's filled with this kind of stuff, totally bought into ego? The ego is restless. The ego is the opposite of peace. Do you see why it's the enemy in our fifth attunement? And in the fifth chakra, our fifth attunement is basically Patanjali's teachings here, which comes from the Bhagavad Gita. So this is the truth of Gita. This is the truth of India right here. Pride makes the egotistical man, consciously or unconsciously, try to cut off the head of others to make himself appear taller. It likes to belittle or humiliate others, to gloat on their mistakes. To gloat on their mistakes. You know, sometimes in sports, it's like this, the game of sports is the game of the battle of life. And the fans will gloat on the opponents to their team's mistakes. Sometimes even a person gets knocked out, and I've heard people in that arena cheer because it was the opponent's quarterback. Do you see how pride is mimicking and is so apparent in all these things that we are entertained by, all these outward things in life, right? Oh yeah, it ties in with jealousy. You'll see jealousy in them is coming next. It likes to belittle or humiliate others, to gloat on their mistakes and discomfiture. You know, sometimes when you have sports addictions and your team, and there's a goat that just screwed up, all season long, and then there's one play at the end, and it's this do or die situation, and it misses the field goal, or it fumbles, or it drops the pass, one play, and then people want that person. Pride wants that person to really suffer because your pride didn't get the victory. Your pride didn't get the victory. And so it wants the person who made that not happen very uncomfortable. Can you imagine that? It gloats on the mistakes and wants discomfiture for others and to gossip and criticize. But whoa! Did you see that football game last night? Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Rookie. Oh yeah. Well, listen, our daughters, my stepdaughter's in Georgia and the grandkids are in Georgia. So of course we were rooting for the Bulldog. And I grew up. I mean, if I have some scars, I have some scars from many lives. So I could have easily gone the way of a sports commentator, been in sports myself, easy. And so I can see through, and my mind just reads everything in a game. It's sick. Talk about samskara. And I knew every single play I could pull out a half a dozen or a dozen times where the Bulldogs seemingly they joked. All right. Right. So that's just my stuff, man. That's the little pride of me wanting my team to win and the other team to get booted out of town. you know, and I always love the underdog. So when there's a team like the Patriots or the Alabama Tide come in, they always win. This was their 6th or 7th national championship. You know, it's like, no way, man. We want somebody new to have the feeling, you know. And it comes down to the last play, right? It comes down to the last thing. So listen, your whole day and your whole life can come down to the last play. So really at that last moment, that last exhale breath, if you feel defeated in life, then man, you can really go to the other side, you know, feeling pretty darn regretful. So, you know, it's just so many tie-ins here, how we have to overcome all of these things in these chakras by attuning to now the deep peace, quiet mind. So this morning I spent my meditation sending love to everybody. Thanks for asking, Brookie. I know that poor kicker. Well, the poor kicker was he got off the hook, man. The Alabama kicker that missed the field goal. Are you kidding me? He got off the hook when they scored that touchdown, the long pass. You know, just don't know how a defender in a situation like that, and the Georgia defender could let a guy be 5-10 yards behind him to get the pass in the first place. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That poor kicker, those poor fans, those poor players are just like, they're just sunk. But how can you be sunk when you had the best season of your life and you're, fighting with the top dog for the top position on the top of the totem pole? But you see how pride works? That there's a loser and there's a winner. That's pride. And if you're all about having to be the top dog and win, which sports is, you got, then there's pride, because sports is an outward thing. It's an outward thing. And so we all are in a duality. So that's how it goes, right? But now we have to look at it within ourselves. Are we the type of person that at the end of the day have to have had it our way? We've had to have the last say in every conversation. We had to throw in our 2 cents to make sure that people knew that we were the smarty pants and we were the top dog in the situation, right? Yeah. So there we go. Fascinating analogy. Oh yeah. Well, it all ties in, Brookie. It all ties in. But woe unto any person, even well-meaning, who intrudes into ego's pride's own sanctum sanctorum. You don't get none. Where did he come up? In other words, God forbid anyone that is going to now say something that you're not going to agree with. That begins to tell you that maybe you are wrong. Oh, God forbid. To a prideful person, you are never wrong. You are never, ever wrong. Does it sound like somebody that we that we know that's kind of in a big global, kind of in a national scene? God forbid anyone who says anything that would make this person seem to appear wrong, right? Because that person who intrudes into his ego pride's own sanctum sanctorum. I cannot do wrong. You are so wrong to even bring up something that says that I am wrong. You are so disdainfully wrong for even considering. How can I ever be wrong? He is met with instant wrath, vengefulness, or at the very best, this person who comes into your sanctum sanctorum and tells you that you're wrong and you're full of pride, you are met with instant wrath, vengefulness, or at the very best, you should feel ashamed for hurting my feelings. You should feel ashamed. It's that discomfiture, and fans in these things are there's serious rivalries, but this is a duality. But man, there's no rivalry like the ones that's in your chakras. And when we come up with that game sheet, you're going to see there's no rivalry like that. There's no battle like that that's going on inside you and me today, baby. That's why I always want to just bring your attention to this love affair, right? This this king's champion, this Arjuna that just is so devoted unto pure devotion, devote yourself. And this true lover who's just always giving your heart the true love's kiss over and over and over and over and over again, because that's the only thing that's going to wake up the ignorance and the sleeping delusion that's inside your heart. Okay, is first love's kiss. And it's not one time, it's over and over and over to wake up the sleeping beauty of your divine heart. All right, so things like that, we just turn this thing over, and the soul rebel, the humble warrior, just focuses again and again on the truth of itself. And it has all the self-restraint and the power to plug up energy leaks, because kids, it's so easy to bleed out today. It's so easy to have a leak, and we bleed out today. We bleed out. First thing is we got to stop the bleeding. So first thing, first attunement, stop the bleeding. And we do that by unconditional, fierce, fearless, non-negotiable, unconditional loyalty, dedication, and devotion to truth. Some of you need a latest update week with me to get these attunements at their freshest, most amazing vibration of right here, right now, and then we practice them for a week. This is like, every week. I mean, we need all these tune-ups. We need tune-ups. You can't just, have a soul sponsor or whatever or a sponsor for your alcohol just every now and then when you want it. We always have a sponsor now. We have our own soul, but then we need those that are going to help us understand what that soul is up to help you win these battles, help you to win graciously. And if something goes haywire, goes ego's way, then you accept that graciously, right? You accept it graciously so that you are on fire now to win the next time. Okay. Ego pride in a man repulses others, producing in them vexation and dislike toward him or her, whereas good qualities of humbleness, calmness, thoughtfulness, cheerful, sincere smiles, patient understanding, always engender in others joy and peace and comfort. Now, are you able to do this to yourself, oh king of yourself, queen soul of yourself? Are you to always have these good qualities of humbleness? First one Yogananda uses, the humble warrior. Humbleness, calmness, Master Mushin, Master Peace, the peaceful warrior. Thoughtfulness, that means you are the soul rebel, very aware of every thought. Cheerful, sincere smiles, Shakti, cosmic energy, cheerful, willing, ready to serve, ready to be selfless. Cheerful, sincere smile, patient understanding of this battle that we are in, always engender in others joy and peace and comfort, that you're always engendering in yourself joy, peace, and comfort. Ha! Thus, the person of discriminative qualities has an attractive personality. Through sympathy, he truly or she truly rules the hearts of others. Through empathy, through compassion, she or he truly rules the hearts of others. The proud only deceive themselves. So this is why, if you're in your mind is a deceiver. Its nature, the manas mind, is to deceive you every time. The nature of your manas, outward, worldly attached mind, is designed to deceive you every time. So the proud only deceive themselves. That's why the interiorization, Mushin, quiet mind, 6 feet under, go receive the blessings in the inner worlds of peace from the masters. That is why it's so important, because now we're not even associated with that manas mind. The proud only deceive themselves that their overbearing attitude makes them leaders among men and women. They think they're leaders. They think that the world should bow at their feet. take the dust of their feet because they're the greatest leader, the greatest thing that ever happened. They totally believe that. But it's total deception and lies of their manas mind that they have chosen as their chief consultant. See, we're choosing the wisdom mind as our chief consultant, as the king's consultant, right? As the king's mentor, the soul's mentor. Wisdom, buddhi mind, calm mind, quiet mind, mushin mind. Whereas the pride have only one thing they listen to, and that is their deceptive, full of lies, manas mind, all right? Even a very spiritual person, see, this is why I often say, and this is why I'm on a revolution against yoga as it is today. I'll post something up of some Swami that was talking about how outrageous it is with yoga being, food yoga, pot yoga, sex yoga, naked yoga. Oh my God, he ripped it. He nailed it, man. I'll try to post it for you guys. Someone sent it to me and they said, look, I so value you because you have always been in integrity with what yoga really means. All right. So for us to be spiritual, we have the greatest temptation to be proud of that. This is why I don't believe in a 2,000-hour teacher training, because first of all, to tell people you're going to be a teacher of anything after 200 hours is pride. This is totally not what yoga is all about. Maybe that you are a student, you learn to be a student for 200 hours of training. So I'm on a revolution against the status quo of how the world operates across the board, okay? Because it operates, if we're not careful, by the ego. And now I'm telling you who lives in your medulla, and this will be part of the game sheet that you have, the medulla, who supports king material desire at your root chakra, which is the opposite of our soul rebel. And that is Bhishma, ego. You have Drona, the habit and samskara, at your medulla, and you have individual, or you have avidya, kripa, at your medulla, supporting king material desire. All right. So we have definitely an Armageddon going on within us. So even a very spiritual person may fall from a great height because of pride in his attainments. Even a very spiritual person may fall from a great height because of pride in his attainments. This is why I love the humility of our soul rebel, and I love the helplessness of our soul baby in crawling up into Divine Mother's arms. As Yogananda said, "Oh, Divine Mother, I am thy little babe, thy helpless babe, secretly sitting on your lap of immortality. I will steal my way to heaven, secreted on your lap. In the shelter of your lap, I'll steal your way to heaven. I am your helpless little babe," quote unquote, from Paramahansa Yogananda. Because of this, because it's so easy. He said, when I shall die, I will know who am I. He said, I killed Yogananda years ago. All the great masters have no idea. They're soul attached. They're attached to their soul, to the truth, to the spirit within them, that they have no association anymore with all of these enemies to the soul, which is the ego, until the ego is upgraded by you turning your head. Instead of turning it away from your happiness and joy, you turn it toward in, and you go inward to your soul, which then upgrades the ego into its true self, the soul. Okay? The ego is simply the soul that is falsely still identified with this outer creation. And since its nature is bliss, ongoing, now identified with the things and the sensations and the body comforts and all this other stuff, and then it believes that it's gonna find its happiness in the bliss of sex and drugs and wine and power and money and things and so-called titles and accomplishments. But they only find this satisfaction and all that, and then more insatiable desires to keep going until they find satisfaction, which they never can find. It's like an Alfred Hitchcock movie, man. You know, All right, so listen. Such is the nature of Mada that the ego esteems itself. Such is the nature of Mada, pride, that the ego esteems itself not only for the good it has in actuality attained. We need to go the other way. We need to bow and say, thank you, Divine Mother, because there's no way that I could feel so happy right now except for your amazing grace. There's no way that I could, be plugging up this energy leak of lifetimes without your divine power, Divine Mother, your power of compassion and forgiveness and grace. Thank you, Divine Mother. Thank you. So we always just humbly thank the Divine Mother or other aspects of your soul for its total 100% grace in helping you lift your consciousness higher than the addiction. All right, but you take no kudos for it at all. I always say that in my yoga class. Take no kudos that you're doing this pose. I say, if you give your mind to the pose, this mind, that pose will give you, will take your mind. If you give your mind to anything, it will take your mind. You give your mind to the yoga practice and how you think you're doing and you're doing this and you look good. It's got to be slain. We have a love force revolution going on, baby. We don't side with the enemy. We don't sleep with the enemy. We destroy the enemy by lifting our consciousness higher, and automatically that lower vibration can't come up. It can only stay down. You have the ability to stay up and stay up. You do not have to compromise your joy and freedom and bliss and true nature to go down. All right? That's your gift. But the dark side doesn't have an option. It stays down. That's the only place it can go. But it will fight here to medulla. And the last thing it wants is for you to interiorize your attention in the medulla, in the cosmic energy, in this Holy Spirit Om, and go up to the spiritual eye center where there is no enemy at all. There's just the unity of the divine light of Christ and Krishna. So there's quite an Armageddon going on in your medulla oblongata, like the two gatekeepers, the manas mind, the negative mind, the sense mind, which is totally trying to, which closes the gate. So you have no energy. No energy, there's no way you can rise up. There's no way you can have enough energy to be happy and win the battles that are necessary to be won today, because the urgency of the soul rebel is to win today, not tomorrow, but today. And then you have the Buddhi mind, the wisdom mind is saying, no, I remember my soul rebels telling me I'm a soul on a mission and I'm going straight up to the highest consciousness I can today by winning within myself with no energy leaks. There's many, many, many true love kisses into my beloved heart. Many, 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 many love blasts out into the darkness today. Light strikes, cosmic energy showers, light baths, so many affirmations that so much good is coming to me, so much good is coming to you. There's an abundance for you, there's an abundance for me, there's an abundance for everything. I am so cheerful and willing to just completely give my life in a sacrifice of everything little and small, restricted and pride-filled and narrow and, haughty and making myself superior. I sacrifice that willingly in the service of the divine. So the ego esteems itself not only for the good it has and actually attained, but also for qualities that it falsely imagines it possesses. So you might attain some good, but now you're going to imagine that you have all these other qualities as well. The greater the good in man and woman, the more there is to be proud about. The greater the good that you achieve and perceive within yourself, the more there is to be proud about. Increasing the chance of succumbing to egoistic pride. Cunning indeed are the traps of delusion. Big breath. You know, we have about 53 of these videos of these dreams. I told Tricia, if I ever get, I can't do anything but lay there and this and that, but I have my senses and wits. I just, give me my Gita streams. I'm just going to install these streams, this truth of the wisdom of the ages through Paramahansa Yogananda. Just give it to me. I'm just going to fill my brain. And we have over 50 of them. That's ego blowing. Good one. I'll be playing the stream over and over. Good one. It's ego blowing. You guys, good one. Yeah, Carolyn, love blast. Yeah, this is a really good one. Oh, yeah. Well, you're the good one. You're the mighty good one with humility. Brookie and the rest of us, we're good. We are totally good, right? We're totally made of goodness. And we're so humble about that we know there's just one that's good. And we just surrender to the one. All we know is the one is everything. The one is love, and we just surrender to the one. I don't know. We're not even home anymore to associating anything to the little ego, because the little ego is now very happy that someone, your immortal soul, is picking it up. You think it likes to play this role as bumming, as a party pooper in everyone's life when it comes from pure joy itself? Remember, the ego wants an upgrade, man. It wants an upgrade. So we're doing the best thing. The ego really loves you. It really loves you because you're giving it a chance to upgrade into its true nature. No, it's going to be really happy along with you when you become totally you, and wear that, in a steady, self-sustainable way. When you wear the outfit that fits you the most, because you get fit, you perfectly fit with the infinite you, right? Ego's going to be so happy. So happy. It doesn't want to make you miserable, man. It's just the job that the delusion gives it. That's all. That Divine Mother gives it. That's all. But it's just waiting for the day that you and I can upgrade. It's just waiting for the day that you and I can upgrade. And aren't you looking? And this is the day. And this is the day, you see? This is the urgency of the soul rebel. There's no negotiation with what the mind says today is all about. There's no bargaining and bartering with that mind about what you think. The I, me, and mine of pride, how it wants to perceive this day, what it desires out of this day, what its little selfish plans are about this day. No, we don't cooperate with that part of us at all. We are non-negotiable, unconditional, fierce, loyal, and dedicated, loyal, and devoted to one thing. Spirit and us are one. We are cosmic bliss bunnies, burn, bliss bunnies, burn, bliss bunnies. That's who we are, right? We are dancing in the light today. We're loving, rest, we're loving, yes, we're loving in the love today. Such are the streams that we do on a regular basis, okay? Now it's homework for those who are in coaching with me. And one beautiful Sally, I don't know if you're listening today, and she came on, she's quite a therapist, just like Amy is, and she said, but I don't have a soul coach. And she's so happy. She doesn't get to talk to anyone about this kind of stuff. So we are supported infinitely, my friends, and we have each other to support each other. And our major obligation, if you look at yesterday's stream, is to change your consciousness, baby. You don't need the help of anyone or anything to change yourself. Just change yourself. Very simply, then, all you need to do is think away the thoughts you want to destroy and replace them with constructive ones. This is the key to heaven. The key to heaven is in our hands. The key to heaven is in our key to heaven is in our hands. It's in our hands. It's in our hands. It's in our hands. Baby, the key is in your hands. Baby, the key is in your hand. So I give my, my beautiful soul awakeners, I call you guys that are really, consciously getting supported in your soul awakening, a little homework. Watch the stream. You got to get back to me on the same day and tell me what it did to lift you up, to upgrade yourself, how it's rocking your world. Just take one thing from it. I apply it to all of you who listen to those streams. Just don't listen for a little momentary inspiration. That's it, that pride can get in the way there and go, I got to feel a little good. I got my little thing, my little spiritual wisdom. But if thing isn't applied and doesn't get applied into your life, when you hear something that is motivating and inspiring you, what good is it, right? It goes in one ear and out the other. Yeah. Next level for all of us. Next level, the next level up. Uppy, uppy, uppy. Tell the Ask Divine Mother, little soul baby, uppy, uppy. Then she comes down, grabs you, and pulls you into yourself. And there you are, safe forever and forever. Secretly sitting on her lap of immortality. I'll steal my way to heaven, Mom. Secretly sitting on your lap of immortality. Well, I was hoping we could get through the next one too, which is envy, but I think it was worth a little while to understand perhaps one of the most devious and cunning of the kudus. Of course, they all are, but this idea of pride. I love you very much, everybody. Thank you for everything that you are, and thank you for your stick-to-itiveness, and thank you for every little victory and moral victory, every little plug up of an energy leak, and thank you for being sportsmen and sportswomen in this game of life, in this battle of life, where you win graciously with a big perspective that you want everyone to win, and you lose just as graciously, just saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is a world of win or lose. But basically, we're all winning all the time. I love you, and I love you the most. All right? Everyone good? Yeah, I love you the most. This says, Brookie, I love you more than ever. We are free. Thank you, God. Thank you. Master Yogananda, thank you. Thank you, Amy. We'll talk tomorrow, Amy. Brookie, we're talking at 9 this morning. Much love. At least we talk on Wednesday evening. Carolyn, let me know. Love you. Love you the most. Toodles with oodles of love.